Recording has started. Let's get right into this.
See, it just
Yeah, it just goes. Yeah, that's
yeah.
okay.
It's not. I think it's I. It wasn't lossless. I think as you know, game revs up, quality gets worse.
Yeah.
But because then it gets normal.
Right, you start swinging the sword. I think the Discord has the same thing. Are you AFK, right? Okay, no, you're back.
No, they swung cat super fast, and we heard them last time. And yeah, I was AFK. Let's
Okay, that's all good.
there's gonna be nothing. I'm gonna save that.
Okay, good. I like the decision to actually go through your team there. You could have definitely have
He was
dodged
in the
that.
fucking smoke.
He was in the fucking
How
smoke.
did I not see him?
Yeah, that's all good. Okay, it's the eco round. Lost pistol, it's fine. Did some good damage on the omen there. Positioning wise though, maybe stand more towards the market door once you got flash rather than just like
Out in
kind
the
of
open, yeah.
just kind of bopping around out there. I really do like Gecko playing this tree area though. I got the chance to play him on Ascent yesterday, and that tree area is so good for him because he can pop flash above because you can throw his flash through the
Yep.
tree, and it's insane. There you're a bit wide on your jiggle and holding here. So you saw Fade Eye. Here, let's go back for a second. So you see this Fade Eye. You also saw that dart. I don't know if you could tell where it's really coming from here, but so that Sova dart it's a lineup from all the way back here towards top cat, and that Fade Eye clears basically everything that's here close. So what I would do here personally is I would walk up into hell or like push the orb to like, see what's going on. Either is like not a bad play here. And if you do walk up, just be aware that anyone could be walking up ready to swing you at any point in time.
Smoke mid.
So just something to keep in mind if you're walking up. But staying here when that eye kind of canceled something, like cleared out that area, it's probably not great. I love this wine reposition here. Is what I was saying from earlier in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right here you're about to get a great timing. You can hear that person walking around in main, right?
Yep.
Beautiful.
So your thought was going wine sooner?
Yeah, definitely. Good swings.
She was coming from mid.
Yeah, great door close there because you actually want her to live in this round. You don't want her to die. I'd be coming to my team there. Don't go up there and try to swing her because that only is a good for her if she dies.
Yeah.
Finally get
Why's
one.
that?
Because you get less credits. So if you
Oh,
die,
oh yeah, so she's bonusing.
yeah, so
it
she's
forces her to keep the
bonusing
bonus.
exactly.
Ah.
So she'd keep whatever Spectre Stinger she had rather than she would get the full. So I guess on her first loss it'd be 1,900 credits versus 1,000 if she didn't die. So it would not a huge difference, but 900 credits over the turn of a game is could be like a full, like whether you can full buy one round versus not being able to use or get all your utility. And on
Right.
KJ on attack, it's kind of necessary, especially like you might want to post plan. Oh, she couldn't afford a molly this round. Just one of those things to always keep in mind.
Gotcha. If you survive a round you lost, you learn 1,000 credits regardless of streak. Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. I like the fall off here. I like that fall off. I would just leave this. There's no real benefit of staying up there, especially since they have a Sova and all that's like paper thin wall bangable with everything. So here I'd be coming here I'd be coming to my team. Oh yeah. I would have so let me just go back. Let me just pause real quick. Here, once that jet gets that first pick, I tell her swing cat again. I'm flashing, and you just throw flash out in the right out above them for them. So as like an initiator and like someone who has flashes, you always gotta be looking for like, okay, can my team play off my flash for where they are? And in that situation, they can, whether Jet or Reyna was able to swing off of it. Like here, like Jet gets one, boom. I tell like I swing cat again. I'm flashing, and then it's just like they can't. Unfortunately, you die there by a lurk up. No one's anchoring B. That's also another positioning thing you just have to keep in mind. whenever you see your teammates, always think of what space has the other team now gained because your team has left there. Like for like in the beginning of this round, yeah, see your team's over there at B, you're pretty safe there. You're holding mid. A, you won't really have any like worry about someone like not gonna take A unless like one of your two teammates die or they fall
So
off and
Josh,
give them sight. And so always gotta remember it's just like, yeah, see there and yeah, right here. Your Reyna and Omen all fell off because the cat push, or yeah, the cat thing. Jet was fighting there. She gets her pick. You saw some people top mid, and they just allowed the Killjoy to get a nice timing, come out B. So
Who's playing? Who's playing in this one?
it's Alex.
Alex.
Oh, is Alex trying to get above like gold or whatever?
Just trying to get better.
Yeah. Hi, Alex.
What's up, Josh?
All right.
A lot of-
So you saw
Oh.
a lot of stuff. Yeah. Here it's a bit. That's a bit of a
Alex,
risky.
something.
That's a bit of a risky fight there mid just because of the character you're playing. I think it's a lot better on a character like Jet or Reyna or even actually probably not even Chamber anymore, playing all the way up there. I don't think his TP would go that far. But you're not exactly playing a very good character for doing that because you didn't have any support from your team. Like you're completely alone here, and that could potentially just be a round thrower. Is that you don't have a very good escape. You're very easily tradable here. You're playing basically a one and done. And on defense, playing one and dones it's one of the worst things you can do because inherently attackers have an advantage if you guys are at even numbers when you got like just throughout the round. And so that's why defenders never want to play one and dones. They like there are obvious exceptions, eco rounds and whatnot, but in general rule of thumb on full buy rounds when full team, you don't want to play one and dones unless you're supported by teammates where it's not really even considered a one and done anymore. It's just like, okay, they can help me out, they can assist me, and I can survive with my life here. But good job
Also,
getting
like,
out.
You can swing that with like utility too, right? Like you have a whole kit, and one of them is a flash if you're playing Gecko. So like, if you're really
Yeah.
dead set on peeking something, you can fucking flash it first.
Yeah, but they don't know I'm there. So if one person walks out, if I flash, they might call teammates there, and then it's super bad to peek there, right?
Sure, but they're still looking for you though. That's the problem. Like they're like when they're peeking tiles, you're checking all that shit anyways.
Yeah, I mean, playing Gecko there, you should probably never be bottom mid unless there's a smoke there that you can play around, and you know that Soa doesn't have dart. A lot of things, like not a great position to be in as Gecko.
Also, I feel like Gecko should bait everybody all the time. Like you should be staying alive for as long as possible because your little cocksucker is like the best piece of utility in the game.
All right.
Right? Like Adam, am I wrong with that? Like his little cocksucker that runs around that diffuses the bomb and shit. Like.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just general initiator info player stuff. I mean, or controller. It depends, because obviously, if you've already used util, then don't be afraid taking fights. But if you still have util to use, and there's going to be an obvious situation to use it, then you don't want to go and just die and bait yourself.
Oh, we never love the insta Q into a match. Oh, and it's Lotus. Yeah.
Well, it looks like your
They were
team is
mid.
popping off on site. I'm just gonna go next.
Alex, did you buy the whole bundle?
Yeah, dude.
Ugh. Jeez, the Vandal's so bad.
Dude, I like the Vandal.
It sounds like a half-assed Phantom, and it looks like a half-assed Phantom.
So here,
Fingers
this can definitely be an over rotate here. Yeah, I'm glad you're recognizing that you guys have given up a ton of space at B, especially since the kill. I don't like how you're just being so indecisive here. Like you're not really sure what to do. You're definitely right here. Coming back B and just jiggling B main here to get the info that okay, they can't be on site here. They can't be able to do that. But just getting that info B main is good because they can be walked up. You have no idea where they are at almost all of the map. You guys have conceded so much space. So I definitely love the play here to go back B. I don't like how long it took you to realize that. So just I guess realizing quicker. Okay, what have we all given up? And here, unfortunately, the answer is everything. So here, the walkout here is not good. So this position is fine, but you're not watching the B main walkout, so they can just pop right up in front of you right here from switch, and you won't have any idea. It's just like, oh damn, the lurk is just right there. And also, if they are mid, you won't be able to hear them if they are, or see them if they're going into your spawn. So you're like really heavily gambling on the fact that they're one going mid, and two that they are going to flood out market into B and not try to like hold position CT. And if your team gets surprised like that they're CT there, it's just like, okay, unlucky. Positioning could be better here in terms of like what you're watching, because we're not really watching where they could be coming from, because this doesn't get us as early of info as it possibly could. This gets us very late info where they are already going to be scaling up B site, attacking you as the three that were remaining here. So that is also something to keep in mind. You want to get the earliest info as you possibly can.
Plan to rotate to B.
All right, good luck, gents. Have fun.
Oh,
See
do
ya.
you?
Nice.
And that Omen luckily just walked out B main and just going up the market stairs right into your crosshair.
Yes. Yeah, that's.
So
why
if you
I
went to the
called
old
it.
position he had, which was kind of their spawn watching B main, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he just gonna risk that they could come mid? Like, because he can't really cover all the angles, right?
Right, you can't cover. You have to risk a little bit, but if you're playing that jiggle peak B main,
Mm-hmm.
if the mid players are all the way through your spawn before anyone either goes B main or out the market doors, because you will get info on both of those things from playing
course.
right here, then good for them. They went 3 through spawn, got a really insane flank kill on there. It's just not
Gotcha.
likely to happen, and that's why you're taking the chance of, instead of, you're watching both of these walkouts instead of just watching the one and giving up the other two. So that's kind of the
Yeah,
that's
makes
kind of the
sense.
reasoning why that positioning would happen.
Yeah, with Omen's ult, he can teleport and pick up Spike. So I was saying if he goes to B, he can teleport onto Spike.
Caden giving out some Omen information.
Yeah. I can rotate over.
Again with this aggressive mid pick.
Free.
You're going for it. Not bad crosshair placement though. Very good. Very solid.
So, I guess I should explain also some of the stuff I'm doing in these games.
Yeah, sure. Go
I'm
ahead.
not necessarily always like playing. So, I'm also playing like specifically aggressive and not using utility in like even numbered duels as a different advice from a different Radiant coach in gold, because I still need to work on like I'm not like my 50-50s aren't 50-50s.
What do you mean by your 50-50s? Or I guess what advice are you working off of here?
So I'm I'm working off the Woohoo Gen advice that like my mechanics aren't still where I'd want them to be, whereas 50-50s more feel like 40-60s or 30-70s. So I'm working on facing those 1v1s. So I'm
37
taking
is a
more
good card,
aggressive.
dude.
So
I'm taking
you're wanting
more
to
aggressive angles. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm actually just practicing more so than like being like I win against all costs and bottom frag.
Sure,
I'm also practicing to get better.
Right. I'm not telling you to like, never take aggressive duels, but you can get this same angle by standing up here at market. It's literally the same thing. So right here, you are just so exposed. Like, I'm not telling you to not do this. I'm telling you that specifically up here, you are more likely to be traded out almost 100% of the time. you're likely to get Sova darted spammed through these paper thin walls right here. If you were just to back up that extra 15 feet to this market peak of holding the exact same angle, it's just so much better. So you can still practice holding this angle just from a better position for your character. Because you're not playing a character that has that easy escape here, it's not always inherently going to be the best thing. However, I will say this little caveat here. Your Fade just scanned A main here and saw 4. They can here, I'll rewind it just so we know what's going on. Or maybe it was already. Alright, here's the beginning of the round. So yeah, still we're holding this. Reyna I. Fade will I here in a second. I don't remember when exactly. There. How many was that? Oh, that's 5. She marked all 5. She got all 5. Because you're already playing so aggressively here, look where they are. The closest person to you is that Omen. You can be going up, you can be getting into this corner, you could be getting behind this little box here, and you can play sound, you can play info of just, are they going to be rotating out? You don't need to pressure the flank instantly. You can just play up in mid because you have that space now. That space is all yours to take. There's 5 people that were scanned in A main. Push up here. That is what the play should be. You should be pushing up. You should be seeing if they're going to rotate off. And if they're not going to be rotating off, then you have a late flank there. Like, they're obviously, yeah, they're coming onto site, so you should already be going here. You should be going up. You should be going up taking mid. Because, look, they're falling off. They're falling off. Your team is pushing them back. If they didn't get stuck in wine there and they actually fell off to something, oh, and your team's all dying. So that's even more unfortunate. So now we're taking mid. We could have already been up here going flank. We could have heard them possibly if they're rotating back through A main. You weren't really gaining as much information as you possibly could have been by staying here and just trying to hold that mid push. You could, like, hearing where they're going is a lot more important sometimes than actually seeing where they're going. And you know Omen's alone here. So I like... you're going actually a little bit too slow. Holy nice. Nice. That was great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like you could use your
Yep,
to do that.
there we go.
Do you have to be alive for your util to defuse?
Nope. It'll just keep going.
Holy shit.
Yeah, great.
That's fucking strong.
Yeah, so that was really good. Could have been a little bit faster on the Omen there, and you could have used maybe, a flash when you heard him planting. When you hear him planting and you flash over there, you can flash over the top of that hut thing over switch, and you can get a general idea of where he's going post plant wise, and then play off of that rather than trying to go for the spam, no util, no information on where he is.
What are your thoughts on solo ulting that? Well, like ulting just after Omen.
I don't like it just for the reason that if he doesn't find him and the Omen just gets the timing on him, like if Alex is ulting from even say market, and he goes out lane, the Omen can hear and see where the ult's coming from. All it takes is for him to TP up market, and then Alex could potentially not get out of his gun fast enough, cancel the ult fast enough. There's a lot of potential things that could go wrong there. It is much better just to focus on aim shoot, basically. Maybe get a little bit of info by throwing the flash. It's like, oh, okay, that's where the general area he's going. Even if he breaks it, you'll hear where his gunshot's coming from. You can know, so like it helps with the crosshair placement, it helps with his confidence when swinging. You don't have to be so lost on just like, oh wow, he was right there. Crazy. Okay, that's the giraffe arrow from Sova. I see you talking there in chat, so I'm assuming you're calling that. Ooh! Good job getting out. Good job getting out. That was definitely scary, but it was a good decision to get out as fast as you could.
Fuck, she's in the smoke.
Yeah, that's a bit of a scary thing. That's the Jet playing well off of that smoke. You could call that they could be in smoke, but overall it's not your sole responsibility there. weren't able to get the trade immediately, but also that's just because she's not visible 100%. Really good fucking shots, though. I'm really, really impressed with how you're playing that.
Oh yeah, the Omen just ran away here, and
Yeah, that's
heard him
great.
go out main.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
heard him go out main.
Really well played, though. Really well played.
Wow.
Very, like, great mechanics. Like, you are hitting your shots. That whole jet, like, in that smoke, not a ton you could do there. You're waiting for your team. Only thing I would, like, say differently is maybe just, hey, calm. I was like, I can wingman through this. Because once you, or wait for the smoke to go down. Because, honestly, pushing into that smoke there, just in general, not great. You can use utility to clear it if you're, like, that insistent on going out while it's still up. Or you can wait for it to go down. And if it goes down and they re-smoke, then you know it's like, okay, yeah, you can see, hey, no one was in there. Or if they timing it weird and like it doubles up, then you probably don't have time, so you use the wingman to clear it. Just future reference of like how to specifically do gecko stuff. And if you don't have anything to clear that smoke, like you can just say, hey, let's go in on 3, 2, 1, and just count down and walk in with the teammate. Because I know you're playing with Caden Omen here. So you could always calm down, you know, whoever you're doing with. It's like, hey, let's walk into the smoke in 3, 2, 1. You both walk in. One of you might die. One of you gets a trade. It's 50-50, but honestly worth it in terms of like clearing it out. And if you'd have no utility at all to get into the smoke or just wait for it to go down if you can't do that. So there's some things to keep in mind. That's just a general rule of thumb for smokes when you have like, you know, you have full rifles and whatnot. You don't need to be so close to the smokes. You can just hold the walkout from them, and but make sure you clear after everything and whatnot. Because if you're holding, or if Caden and you are holding the smoke together, it's hard for the jet to even get one of you if she gets aggressive and pushes out. So nice, you saw the killjoy turret there. I think you should actually swing and break that. Yeah, if you swing and break that sooner, I think it's probably better if you just break it as soon as it goes up, because it just denies them so much info that anyone can be out here.
Yeah, I think I made the wrong. I was kind of thinking since it didn't spot me, she'd walk up cat, which is why I held farther down cat. But,
yeah, that's
I agree.
It's a fine thing to do, but also if you break it immediately, you know she's not going to be walking down cat, and then you can just calm to your team, hey, I've got all of your mid. Great push up, by the way, after you. I was just saying, great push up, by the way, after taking that space from the enemy team. That's nice. Love that. I was gonna say, that's kind of a risky spot to ult from, because if she breaks it and if she kills your teammate like that, like she literally just did, and you miss, because that I've had some weird interactions with that ult where it doesn't.
It
just
it
doesn't
can get real janky with
Yeah.
not detain people.
And
Yeah,
because you were
100%.
a little bit out in the open there, so it was a bit suspect. I'm not gonna keep beating a dead horse with my thoughts on this mid push here with the character you're playing, so we'll just see what happens after that. Do you remember like what was happening there? Like, were you just like too laser focused in to like really recognize the jet was updrafting on you?
I just didn't have. I heard the updraft and just did not have the reflexes to. In my brain, just did not put the dots together to look up.
Okay.
So I really think I think a part of my brain thought she was updrafting farther back to look at catwalk. But as soon as I died, I went, obviously she was updrafting to kill me over the thingy.
Yeah, also, you did re-peak that, like, several times after you had already fallen. Like, you re-peak it once, you re-peak it twice, you re-peak it, like, 3 times. That can get dangerous, because if they're holding for you, then like, you're really, like, 50-50ing that. a lot. And it's like, obviously, you know, those are good jiggle peaks for the most part, so it would be hard for them to get that, but just something to watch out for, especially like, you know, once you do that, you know, the jet thing, unfortunate, but if you don't repeak that, maybe you'll have the more awareness to recognize like, oh shit, that's right above me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go to the next round. Don't need to. Oh, all right, here we are. Yeah, Fade Eye scan nothing, so good rotate coming back here, B. Holding for your Jet's exit. Okay, just another Killjoy ult. So you can spam that because you know more or less when they're going to be coming out, and you can get some really easy spam kills. That flash isn't very good, so think, okay, so this is just util usage on Gecko specifically. So what does this flash actually, what does it see? Right, you got like what? Yeah, I want you to like ask yourself that question. What does this see? What do you think this like all is gonna see?
It's only gonna see from like bots, like defender side stairs, only to like the box, maybe to this boathouse. I'm not even sure, but I think that would just dodge because even if it fired, it'd probably miss. And then what we've already cleared market, boathouse that we've already watching and cleared, and B main, which we've already cleared.
Well, a little bit of B main. It doesn't even hold for this off angle, which is where most people would play. It doesn't. This doesn't clear the off angle from boathouse to stairs. Like this flash just, it leaves a lot to be desired here. So always think about, okay, I'm gonna flash, but what is my flash actually going to gain for the team? Like whether it be a KO flash. Obviously, if this was a KO flash, I'm hoping you wouldn't just throw it out in the open where your team is and blind all of them. But even being a Gecko flash here, like just throwing it over this thing here, it will get information on at least something. Just throwing it out there, even if they break it. If they don't break it and it flashes them, it will give you everyone who's playing on site. And if you know you've already cleared main, like your Jet looks like she's going to do, then it gives you the number of that are on site flash, and it will most likely give you the number of people playing back boathouse. You're just like, oh, okay, I see two things dropping onto site. Two people are on site, two people are boathouse. You know generally where everyone is on this. And a flank obviously could happen, but you know, it's like one of those things where if you're going fast enough, like what you guys should be, you're all dumping util here, so you're really going fast. That flank should have to push you on site as whoever's left anyway, and it won't really make too much of a difference unless like it is a very good timing. So there's always that little caveat of, oh man, they get a good timing on a flank, like their Jet kind of had there up mid. Yeah, see, they dive from lane. Yeah. We didn't have very much info on where they were from site. We might have seen the arena with this dog, but maybe the flash would have helped a lot more. Maybe it wouldn't have. Never really know. But you know, just something to keep in mind is like really think about where you're clearing with your flash and how to use it more effectively. All right, I like those pings mid. Really thinking about it. I don't think they could take that, but you don't go and hold for it. Like even some jiggles would be like hell yeah, like holding like from that angle that you were just at would probably be pretty good. Oh, here's a good example of why where to be like pushing in smoke. Yeah. So their Jet pushed a smoke right there as like that our Fade was in. If our Fade was paying attention, like 9 times out of 10, she should never be losing that. Oh, nice. Good kills. Also, your kill there is kind of also an explanation of why to play in smokes when you're on eco and why not to push smokes when you have a full buy. Is that you were so close to that jet that your stinger was like in a way better effective range for the gun you're having rather than the gun that she had. Even though she had a vandal, you're in that better distance of like, oh, I can crouch spray here, or I can just like run and gun, move around side to side, make it really hard for her to headshot you because you're playing in that stinger's effective range, and it's really hard for her to actually win that gunfight. And you know, obviously, you know, great pickup on that vandal, great shot on that Reyna too. But that's just a general smoke kind of thing. Whereas, you know, if you're on eco, yeah, playing smokes, you want to try to get them while they're being greedy, trying to push into the smoke and get their eco frags. And if you are not on eco and you are, you know, having a full rifle buy, don't play in smokes and don't try to go get your eco frags. Or you know, if they're on a full buy, pushing into a smoke when you have no info what's on the other side or anything to clear through the smoke is scary. This also has been my go-to buy for pistol rounds for Gecko, the Wingman Ghost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So for defending, I put take space faster, focus on flashing actual space, in position where it's hard to trade you, don't want it done.
Yes. And don't forget all of the smoke timings. And wait, did you mention the positioning thing about taking space when you know no one can be there, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take space faster. Info.
Yes.
That's fun.
Great. If you ever need me to pause so you can take notes or anything, because I know you have a coaching document or a coaching word thing pulled up on something. So if you ever want me to slow down or explain something, just let me know.
What's up?
Okay. Now for the fun half, the attack half. Okay. This is just going to be a general peeking tip here. I just want you to watch how you peeked this. Look where your crosshair is versus where this jet just was shot from, and like what angle that was. You're technically you're visible to this. Like they can start to see you here. And then you're all the way out in the open here whenever you start to, you have to flick over to this. When peeking, you want to like imagine, okay, I'm gonna hit my left movement key or right movement key, and I want my crosshair to be in this general area already. And so you don't have to flick over here. It's like going, hopefully we can like, I can't really like frame by frame it. But does that kind of like make sense how this is like, you're turning mid-swing. You don't want to have to turn mid-swing. You want to eliminate as much mouse, like you actually have to move your mouse across your screen as possible when peeking. You want to already have it set up. You want to hit your movement key, stop when you are in the area that you want to stop in, and that's where your crosshair is. That's where you're expecting them to be, or just somewhere in that area, and then you can move your mouse based on that. You don't want to already have been, oh, I'm swinging out wide with my movement and swinging my mouse at the same time, and then once you're stopped, then it's just like, okay, now I can readjust again when my mouse is already not on center. It's a lot easier to readjust when you've already made your movement, you're pre-aiming it, you're jiggle, you're there, and then you can adjust from there. It makes it a lot easier to hit shots and more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Good flash out. Make space for that team using that flash. Look where you're aiming. Okay, yep, this is, I was like, yep. Yeah, I was literally perfect example. You got punished exactly as you should have been. So you flash out. Look where all of your team is looking. All of your team is looking the entirety over there. They all got kill hungry. You need to recognize what your team is looking at and if they have someone to trade them, you do not need to be a part of that. You can be the sole person like holding Heaven here. This is where I would probably suggest you actually hold is Heaven. Jet shouldn't be turning around and trying to get that door guy. She should be leaving that to the rest of your team. But that's neither here nor there. We're not focused on Jet. We're going to be focused on what you can do. So as you're walking out here, you see all of your team going that side. The rest of site hasn't been cleared yet. No one's watching the Heaven walk out from anything. There's no smoke Heaven, like even if like you want this to be lined up so where they can just walk out real quick and you're already holding it. You want to be holding Heaven in this situation. If you are playing an initiator like that and you're flashing out and you're coming out like third, fourth, even fifth like you are here, then you want to be holding what your other teammates are not holding. And you get punished. You get punished right by the Heaven guy that's just swinging out Heaven. No one's holding it. That should be you holding that.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm pretty sure right after this I say that because I'm like, why wasn't there a smoke Heaven? And then I go, I should have just been holding Heaven.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, whenever you see Caden, tell him don't throw that smoke.
Yeah. He keeps throwing smokes in the middle of this thing where people peeked him last time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a bit rough because it just gives them so much space to work off of. Because maybe we can get a better view of the smoke at some point. They can clear. They have so much space in this back corner that they can afford to like just clear this, and they're not visible to like anyone holding potentially from main. They're not like they can slowly clear all around this. And I'm only saying this just because we know Caden. We can tell him this. And if this was just some random, I wouldn't be even bothering mentioning this. But they can walk out here, clear all of this, and then like swing out on site to like fight. And then they have it's a random chance of whether they get sprayed or not. But they have something to fall back to, and it's a lot easier to fall back through smoke than it is to swing out and have to be open to this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle if the smoke is a lot farther left and it's like very well aligned with that wall there.
Yeah.
And Caden gets killed from the wide swing there, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Unlucky, lost both pistols this game. Hard games. Eco round. What are you guys doing this eco round? Grouping up as A. That's not bad. So Jet and Omen are here from their utility. Don't exactly know what's all happening, but all right, sure. Go ahead and flash. They got one. I got the close person.
None of those hit.
Okay. Yeah, holding smoke like this is fine. Yeah, if you were in it, maybe you get like one a little bit easier, and if they the Jet pushes alone there, you might get her gun. Playing in the smoke there just because you're on eco and you're not expecting anything else is just like you might get the kill, you might not. Whatever happens, but
Right.
definitely you want to get in the position where you think you can at least get one. Because if you get one there, it's just like, great, that's good. That's good for the round. Because if you're ever on a buy and you are playing aggressive and you die when the enemy's on an eco, like you're just giving away money to the enemy team that didn't have to spend anything. And it's just winning for the other team. So just one of those things to keep in mind if you're able to punish them. Okay, good awareness from that. Oh. Okay. That Sova Eye scanned a lot. We seem to be just wanting to force ourselves out here on site. Oh.
145 Sova, you see?
Okay, nice shot. So it's not your fault like at all here. Like your team is just They're just wanting the W key on the site. They didn't break any of the Killjoy setup. They all just died, basically all to the Killjoy setup, and things like that. Something you, I guess, could have done better here is either counter them, don't go out, fall off, or once you see 3 of your teammates die like that and you've flashed out and they've died, you could fall out and try to just make it expensive for the other team and try to get as many kills as possible, or you can just try to fight it out. No matter what, like you're in like a lose-lose situation there.
Yeah.
Adam,
What?
I just raised dipped in Immortal 1 in a ranked game.
Nice.
I was 11, 10, and 10, had 2 Rosa ults. This guy was 10, 15, and 6.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, you guys are on a little bit of a broken buy now, but as long as you have enough to buy next, that is all good. Alright, so you saw them flash out A. So now you have an op there, and they've already used your dash. You should be flashing and wanting to go fast here. And a good gecko flash for A site is just throwing it over this top wall so that it's in line with it's basically in line with this generator thing, because the gecko flash can hit basically everything.
Yeah.
If you
It's
throw it.
basically the same Omen flash, but except above.
Yeah, I had to think about what Omen Flash you're talking about. Yeah, just the Omen Flash that you throw just at Jin. Good there. But yeah, on your broken buy there, when you see the Jet so far up and she's opping, once she like shoots one, dashes away, you should be like saying, go, 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 I got flash. That should be on you to call that just go kind of thing. Because you know the Jet's opping there. Like, even if she has support, you guys are on a broken buy. Like, this should be something that you guys are fighting for and pushing her back, because the op can't hold all of you guys off at once. And if you're flashing out, if you're flashing out right there, you know almost 100% that's getting her. Like, there's almost no place she can go that she can hide from that flash in that amount of time, because you know from her dash she couldn't have gotten into there. And if she did, you close that, you can even push into that smoke and try to kill the op, but you should just be going faster to try to really punish her for her aggressive positioning there and missing. Yeah, and now your fade walks back into the Killjoy. The Killjoy took that mid space that you guys fell off and gave to her, so we'll play it on her.
Yeah, Killjoy kills me around this corner too.
Yeah. It is understandable. Like, you guys fell off, gave her so much space there to play with. So you always got to think about, if like I fell off and I would take that space, so when I was playing on defense, what's stopping the enemy team there? There's nothing stopping them. So it's like, that she should be pushed up there, and that just kind of goes back to that thing of just like, okay, we gave up all of this space. They could be anywhere in that entire thing. And so you guys had, like, that was even more of a reason to just go out A, burst out onto A.
I have no clue.
So there's more things to keep thinking about mid-round as you're going through. And if you guys do decide to cancel, that is just keep in mind. You're just like, okay, we canceled, that's fine. Where do I expect them to be playing and taking that space up? You almost never want to think about, oh man, I was surprised by them being there. Great shot, great peek. Your crossfire was a little bit high, but your movement was very controlled there, and that really helped you finish off that peek and get it nice and solid.
Yeah,
so
for
was
your
Stairs.
Gecko flash there, like, what are you trying to flash with your Gecko flash there? Because you basically threw it at Market in a spot that you'll never be able to recover it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me see where. Here.
You're never getting that one back.
Right, but look at his team info. He gets this. They're going fast here. If he's the entry onto site, he has to clear off close. That will clear all of lane. That will clear this switch. That will clear logs. It clears everything close.
Sure, I just don't understand how it's not better than just pitching it through the window and Reyna flashing out main. Like they Reyna flashed out main, you know? Like the forethought of being able to get your thing back is pretty like I think that's like the biggest crucial thing with playing Gecko right now.
Yes, you can flash through the window there, but it in turn like it would have
Clear
like
lane on most of site.
right. But where the Killjoy was playing is anyone playing site there.
Hmm.
Like I don't think that flash was bad because I would honestly think someone is playing to trade that KJ and they would have to be close. You know, there ends up being a
Could you,
Sova
so
lane
what
there.
If, what if you threw it more towards like a dead in line with switch, so it doesn't just end up over by the door, so then you can actually like try and get it back?
It it honestly depends though, because if you're throwing it dead in line with switch, that means you're exposed to main before you're even flashing. Or you're exposed not to main, but you're exposed to CT before you're flashing.
I
So
got you.
each flash has their merits, but it's always like hindsight. When you're going quick like that, it is never a bad thing to use your flash just like that, where you're throwing it out too clear close because your Fade didn't have time to dog. She was too late behind everybody. It was like it was a good flash. It clears all of close. It gives your team the confidence to go forward. It didn't hit anything, so they know like you could just go forward. You do seem a bit like just let me just do. Here, you now see Sova. You killed Killjoy. If they're playing 3 like site here, like and they're playing 1 backside, like that clear is all you need to do. You don't have to when you know that there's 1 lane or there's 1 stairs right there. I would honestly hold for the lane push until he dies by either your teammate or he pushes down the stairs and then you kill him. You don't have to go down and clear everything so rapidly. You can just wait for that Soba to die before dropping down on the site, because if he gets a weird timing, he falls back as you're dropping to site, he kills you, and it's just like, ah, dang.
Yeah.
Wild Reyna reposition. And that's why it's wild. I like this. Oh man, if you had comms, so I noticed no one's talking here. This is the reason why I'm just bringing it up. So no one's saying anything. So yeah, we get a comm that is 1 CT, but that is it. You guys don't tell each other what you're holding. If you tell Fade, I'm holding CT, hold your lane, then which she's already doing, but it gives you a reason to not go lane here. Yeah. And if you just, you're holding this way and now you're both holding the exact same thing. So potentially just some base level communication here, holding opposites for each other. Don't be holding the same thing. Just try to get that base level communication down. At least tell us like, hey, I'm holding this, I'm holding that. And then you got both kills. Good job. Nice shots. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't have like a problem with how you played that. That was very like good post plant. You're playing like on site up in their face while Fade's playing back. She had that up and main. I'm just saying like what to specifically improve on is just saying, hey, I'm holding this. Hold that for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impossible to get on the site whenever everybody just fucking tunnel visions down lane.
Alright. I'm gonna rewind a little bit. We're at the start of the round. So he's right there. So with everyone holding that, that could be a potential mosh angle. Just letting you know what. Okay, well they got collided there. Sometimes enemy makes a good shot. It's no big deal. Nothing you could have done differently there. It is what it is. Nice, good taking shots, good taking shots. You say hard flank. This call's a bit dicey because we know the Jet just got a kill from, I want to say it was probably here based on the collat angle. I don't think it could have been from lower mid market. And with you getting 3 there, she's probably mid right now. because she would have to rotate at least to like some level. So she's probably in this general area, and she can also float back really quickly. I think flashing out of that smoke would have been a better play. I was just gonna go right out of the map. Also a very, very bad. Yeah. So yeah, she was there very quickly, so she had the rotate play, and now you guys found that omen. But just potential things to think about of like where did you last see someone, and instead of making such like a rash decision as quickly, just take an extra second or two. It's like, okay, where can they be, and just kind of try to picture where they can be. Jet got that kill from Market. You guys basically went back in the next 5 seconds, got 3 kills. She has to be rotated. She was probably like right around here by the time like you guys were crossing, and then when you got onto site, she was just like, okay, I'm already. She was wide out heaven.
Looking at it now, yeah, I think in the moment I thought she swung out because we saw Omen tiles. I thought she swung out from mid and got those 2 kills. And so I was
Okay.
afraid she had went to market, and so if we push the smoke, we'd be pushing the off.
See, and that's why you would have your flash out, where it's like you could stand straight. You can stand like that flash that Josh was saying earlier, where you can stand here inside that smoke, just throw it straight out, and that would get her off that market angle and a CT angle, and you would have Caden to smoke off market or CT, either one, depending on where you thought or where like a flash would go. And you can kind of get the direction of a flash goes just by like hearing where it goes,
Right.
but it is not something to like specifically worry too much about. And with getting 3 on site there, you can almost for sure be for sure certain that no one else is going to be on site, and you just have to worry about the CT and market push or like the market holds. Because if they're playing 4 site and just letting Jet op and try to control all of the A side by herself, then that's just a really freaking weird play.
Yeah. Yeah, and in hindsight, we saw Omen tile, so I should have known that. Yeah.
Hey, it's all good. It ended up working out. Just think something like just you don't have to make decisions as fast as you think you do in this game.
So the correct address is on the old one.
Just letting you know. You have a lot more time than you really think you do.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can see an alt entry right here. You have your alt now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you are.
Well, hopefully you will at least
I won't have
not
smoke
hold
for-
on to it for a long time. So the flash is fine. I'll say that the flash is fine. But just throwing it straight up clears like the backside, and because you have a fade, that dog can clear it close. So I mean, I hate. I'm gonna take that back. I want to say you don't rely on your teammates' utility, at least in this elo, and really think about what you need to clear on your own. So the flash right there, I'm gonna take it back. Maybe just throw it higher up to try to get behind this dice position. But other than that, really good because it clears close, so it gives your team can go out with it. And
I won't have
you're
smoke
here.
for-
As soon as the smoke's down, you see that Jet smoke. You know she's going out, so you might as well just toss that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that, basically.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna hesitate because we had press smokes earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird Killjoy ultimate, but I was about to mention that it was just like you have to be really careful with your post plant positioning when your KJ has ult on ascent, and that's just something you should be tracking throughout the game. It's just like, oh, what characters have ultimates? How do they want to use their ultimates? What's their win con with this ultimate, or how can they use their ultimate to really punish us with what we're doing? And you want to make a little bit of plays off of that information, but weird KJ ultimate, you're not gonna be punished here. I want to see how you play this, because if you're gonna just play this by staring at the smoke, then I hate it. But if you're gonna be watching flank here, then it's gonna be pretty solid. So there's a couple of things to note here. Really good fucking shots, by the way. Just nice aim, pretty consistent, like nice solid aim. That you're taking these gunfights, you're winning. It's great. But the purpose of you even coming back to main is to hold the space that you have given them. You guys don't have a flank watch character here, so them flanking is insanely easy for them. You guys can get flanked insanely easily. It sucks because all of your team died without getting any kills, even regardless of the KJ ultimate. That is just. Speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
And I was like, he's so right.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I was like, I know what happens here.
What incredible timing too! Like literally half a second for it to happen.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from any of the shots that you hit out here. Very good mechanical skill to get all of those kills. Like great job, like really trading out your team members because they gave you nothing to work with there. But yeah, just be careful of you guys are very easy to flank if you don't have that flank watch sentinel, especially when all of your team dies, and you should be realistically you should be the one falling back in your comp. So very good read on you doing that, just because you have wingman to plant, you don't need to be on site. You have mosh for post plant, you have flash for post plant. Your post plant is very good, specifically from main on honestly either site. So good job recognizing that. Hey, I can be the one that falls back here. I don't have to push out to site. I don't have to be the one to do this, that, and the other thing. So just some things to be aware of is that when you are giving up space and they have the option to take it from you and kill you from that, make sure at least someone is going back. And if it's not, if it's like if it's one of your teammates, or if it's not one of your teammates, make sure it's you. Even if you aren't the greatest person, like character to do it. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It's rather just good to have a body back there to make sure you're not getting flanked. To do that.
It's tough. I'm pretty sure I get one tap from here on out.
One's gonna be through tree.
Again with the really sloppy peek. KJ's on that right. Nice. Don't grab the orb. You got too greedy as playing Gecko there to go for the orb without having anything other on site cleared. When you kill, so I want to describe this in a way that makes like reasonable sense on the ability to do this. This flash out there, great. The swing on Killjoy, great. The kill on Killjoy, great. What you did after was not great in the sense that you didn't look for anyone to be swinging to trade that KJ. And that's something you should be getting into the habit of doing. It might not it might not be the case where people are in a position to trade in this rank, or even, in a couple higher ranks. But if you build the habit of where can they trade me from? They can trade me from heaven, they can trade me from back dice, they can trade me from here. If you just here, and you just flick to those spots where you think, okay, they can trade me from here, here. That's a lot better than, it's just like, assuming, we got R1, that's it for sight. Let's go.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in mind. I always want to think about who can trade me, where can they trade me from, a bunch of things. So I noticed the recording stops here in 10 seconds, so I don't think we're getting to see the rest of this game.
Oh yeah, I ran out of recording space. The rest of the game is I get one tapped in tiles by Omen, and for them to go 12-9, and then Jet Olsen hits me from market.
Got it.
I die at the beginning of both the next rounds.
Well, that's fine. It's overall very well played throughout the game. It was you did really well that game. Got a lot of kills. Your positioning was good. A lot of things also to work on for Gecko specifically, or just kind of utility wise, keeping in mind what you have, where they could be playing. I'm noticing like a lot of not really thinking where the enemy can be. Your swings are also sometimes they're really good. You have a very controlled movement pretty consistently, but you're not swinging always with the same intent on your crosshair. Sometimes you're swinging just to clear things quickly, and that's not always the best thing to do. Sometimes, it's fine when you're running out taking sight as a team, you're using utility, you're going based off that. It's like, go fast, go boom, and like burst on the site. But it is also something to keep in mind. It's just like, hey, I want to effectively clear this. I don't want to just be running out, having to, hit a nasty, counter strafe flick on that person to get that kill. So being more thoughtful with your clearing and thinking about where can the enemy team be based on the information we have in the round.
I completely agree. I 100% peek a bunch without actually expecting the enemy to be there.
Always a habit to work on.
I've been working on that a bunch. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, a lot.
Well, it's good that you're working on it and you've already recognized it. So, do you have any other questions throughout for this VOD specific?
So for attacking, I got imagine this when you're 80 crosshairs on the angle and look for a person trying to trade for a kill. Also, so you think Gecko's best? So you did not like the mid, which I can understand. So you think Tree's the best for Gecko?
For defense, yeah, I definitely think Tree is the best because you can flash out mid for your teammates. If your Reyna or Jet wants to peek out mid, it's just like, oh, they're getting pressured. You can flash out. That either gives them a chance to reswing or gives them time to fall off because you can flash out from Tree to mid. Or if they're exploding onto A, you can flash out onto site for your Heaven guy can swing off that. You can swing out of Tree off that because it's most likely going to be smoked. There's a lot of Gecko play that you can do. You can get a molly through tree. Just learn a lineup from that, and that can like land all of back Jin. You can clear out the entirety of Jin with your molly as Gecko. It's great. Wingman's great in those close corners where it's just like they don't have time to react to him, and he just kind of pops up in their face and explodes. All of Gecko's utility can be utilized really well for Tree, but the same can be said for Market when they're coming out. The same can be said for CT Spawn on B side when they're coming out. The same can be said for Heaven. You can use Gecko's utility as an initiator because his flash is so generous and Mosh is so generous with its space that he's a very flexible and versatile player on where he can be played. But an overarching factor of where he can be played is that it needs to be hard to trade him. He can't be in a spot where he doesn't have an easy escape, like either behind cover or he's playing like a very tight angle where he can just he can fall off, or he's jiggle peeking something and then falling off. He's not a character like you can treat like Arena, where you can just stand in the middle of the screen and just expect to hit a one tap and then not just get traded immediately after. He doesn't have that same versatility as those other duelist-like agents.
Yeah.
Like even Raze, for instance, she has her blast pack, but at the same time, it's not as fast as a Jet Dash. It's not as fast as a Reyna Dismiss. So you have to be a little bit more careful with your Raze positioning. And so it's kind of like the same thing with Gecko, except even more reserved and conservative in terms of your peaks and whatnot. And I'm not telling you don't take aggressive gunfights, don't take long peaks like that. Just be hard to trade. Be unpredictable with your positioning. Switch up things. Switch up how you're using your flash. You always want to try to have that unpredictability agent in your play. All right.
Man. Oh.
Good luck climbing after just info dumped on you, man.
Good luck.
Alright. I'm gonna mute up and say thanks for watching. Hopefully you all learned something from this VOD review too. Thank you to everyone who's stick around for this line. I know this is gonna be a really long video.
One day I will.
And I really hope everyone is at least able to learn something from this video.
Alright,
See you next
time
time.
to play Valorant.